going on, everybody? It is your boy Arrows here, and we have a deck profile for you for Riftbound. I don't know why I sang that, but we're gonna keep it in the video. It's not something super competitive. It's a personal project of mine that I am beginning to work on. Because honestly, Lux is probably one of my favorite League of Legends champions. When I first started playing League of Legends way back when my computer wasn't the greatest, so it was like kind of hard to like play again with people. Like it was really slow and got really choppy at times. So I played support Lux and I really enjoyed it, and I really came to enjoy the champion. So my pet project is to build a competitive Lux deck. Now, Lux's biggest issue right now that I think keeps her from being like higher on the tier list than she is a lack of 5 cost spells. Lux, Lady of Luminosity, has the ability that whenever you play a spell that costs 5 or more, you get to draw a card. Card draw is always fantastic. Being able to play spells and draw cards is always really good. The issue is right now there's not a ton of good 5 cost spells in the order domain or the mind domain. So we're going to start from the ground, and whenever we get a new set or whenever new cards are revealed, we're going to come back to this deck list. We're going to talk about the cards that were revealed, and we're going to see if they can fit into what we want to do with Lux. So, but we're going to give you the base core that I'm starting with. A lot of this is it's not like super, it's kind of budget, but not really. I don't have I'm starting away from like stuff that other blue builds would use, like the Thousand Tail Watchers and stuff, because obviously we want to have more spells. But you guys have suggestions on what we can cut and what we can put in to make this build keep going. I'm always open to suggestions. Please leave them in the comments below. But so we're running 6 order runes and 6 mind runes. Just the basic 6/6 split to start. We can adjust as we go. For battlefields, we're running Targon Peak. Battlefields are running Targon's Peak. When you conquer here, ready 2 runes at the end of your turn. We want to ready runes. We love readying runes because we want to cast spells. 1 star tipped peak. When you hold here, you may channel 1 rune exhausted, and 1 obelisk of power at the start of each player's first beginning phase. That player channels 1 rune on top of the runes that you're already channeling. So the goal here is we want to hold some of these battlefields and get a lot of runes. Our chosen champion is going to be Lux Crown Guard. She is a 4 cost with 2 might. Honestly, I don't really think this card ever needs to really leave the battlefield, to leave our base when we play her, because she has the ability, we can tap her as a reaction to add 2 mana to two resources, I guess we'll call them, to our pool, and that they can only be used to play spells. So this makes our 5 costs or spells higher. This takes off 2 of that from one of the ones we play. This is a really good card. I like this card a lot. I like her better than the other Lux champion. We'll talk about the other Lux champion in some of the other card choices that we have. We'll do like the deck, we'll do some other card choices, and then we'll talk about that. But getting into the deck, we have 1 copy of Seal of Insight. It's 0 cost. We recycle a rune to tap it as a reaction, and we can add mind resource. Then we have 1 Seal of Unity. Again, same thing as Seal of Insight. Tap it to add a order rune. 2 copies of Stupefy. We give a unit for 1. We give a unit -1 this turn to a minimum of 1 and draw 1. Card draw is also super important in this deck. We have 3 copies of Ravenbloom Student. When you play a spell, give me +1 might this turn. This is really good for some of the early games, letting us, for example, if we stupefy something, making it -1, we're also making Ravenbloom 3 might as well. 3 copies of Smokescreen, 2, and we recycle a Mind Rune. Give a unit -4 this turn to a minimum of 1. Just a really good card. 3 copies of Soaring Eagle. Soaring Scout. It's a 2 cost 1 and it has a Death Knell ability, which means it gets the ability when it dies. We channel 1 rune exhausted. We have 3 copies of Call the Weak. Each player kills one of their units. We have this nice little thing that has death, that has a death knell, so we can use it for that, or we can also use it to pop off some other things if we well. 3 copies of Lecturing Yordle. It's a tank, so it must be assigned combat damage first. We play it, we get to draw a card. 1 copy of Shen. I like this card in this deck because we do want to keep our battlefields for as long as we can, so we can channel runes, or we can or gain points, to win the game. Shen is a champion unit. He's a 3 cost, recycle one rune, 1 order rune, 3 might. And then has a reaction that we can play anytime, even before spells and abilities resolve, including to a battlefield that we control. So we can essentially flash Shen in to our battlefield to give us an additional 5, because he also has shield 2. He gets an additional 2 might when he's defending. And he's a tank, so he has to be assigned damage first. This is a really good card. I would like to include maybe 1 more card in this build, but I don't know how. Again, I would love to hear your guys' insights. We have 2 copies of Consult the Past. It is a 4, or we could hide it for power to react later for 0. And then it has a reaction, or we can just react to it, we can play it at any time, and we get to draw 2 cards. Again, card draw is super, super good. We're running, how many copies? We're running 3 copies of Sprite Mother. She's a 4 cost, and we have to power 1 rune, so recycle 1 rune of Mind. When we play her, we play a ready +3 3 might sprite unit token with temporary here. So when we play her, we play an active 3 sprite, 3 powered 3 might sprite, which we can then use to conquer into a battlefield, and then it gets destroyed at the start of our. It gets destroyed at the start of our beginning phase before we score. So, really good card. Now getting into our heavier side of the deck, because Lux does need a solid supply of 5 and above cost to use her ability to draw a card. We have 2 copies of Fallen Comet. It's an action. 5, no recycling, and then it deals 6 to a unit on the battlefield. We're running 2 copies of Progress Day. It's 6, and we have to power 1 Mind Rune to draw 4. 3 copies of Blast of Power for 6, and we have to power 1 Order Rune to kill a unit at a battlefield, just straight up. 2 copies of Grand Stratagem, 1 copy of Grand Stratagem. I would love to run more of this, but it is a very heavy recycle cost. It's 6 and power 3 order runes to give friendly units +5 this turn. This is a good card, but it is a bit costly at 3 for the recycle. We have Singularity, and it costs 6, recycle 2, do 6 damage to each up to 2 units. We can do 2 damage. We can do 6 damage here, 6 damage there. 1 unchecked power. It's 7, and it does and it powers 2, recycles 2 mind runes. Exhaust all friendly units, then deal 12 damage to all units at battlefield. This is a board wipe, potentially. Yes, we have to lose all of our friendly units, so we can't quest. Wow, I'm getting card games mixed up. We can't conquer, but honestly, to potentially clear our opponent's boards is kind of amazing. 1 copy of Final Spark. This is Lux's signature spell. It's 8 with no power, and deals 8 to a unit. Again, it's not the greatest, but like I said at the start of the video, this is where Lux is struggling right now, in my opinion. There is not a lot of great 5 or higher spells in this domain combination right now. But as we get into more sets, then it will hopefully change. And then our last card is Harness Dragon. 8 power 2 order runes, and when we play Harness Dragon, we get to kill an enemy unit. We have ways to get things off the field. We have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 cards that will trigger Lux's drawing ability. And yeah, I'm pretty okay with this build so far. I'm going to go through and talk about some of the other cards that we are looking at right now, and then we'll give you my final thoughts. All right, so starting out with some of the stuff we want to talk about that I want to look at adding into the deck, and again, I would love your guys' opinions on this. Is go I trust it. Riptide Rex, just a big body, a 6, powers 2 mind runes. When you play me, deal 6 damage to an enemy unit at a battlefield. I really like this card. It's not a spell, though, so I opted to use more spells over it. But again, a body is a body. So being able to have that extra card draw on the field is pretty solid. Echo is another card I was looking at. We can accelerate his advantage ready, and then when he is killed, we can recycle him to ready our runes. That is another card that I'm really contemplating. Wraith of Echoes helps with us drawing cards to get into our spells. The first time a friendly unit dies, each turn draw 1. Thousand-tailed Watcher is always an option. I don't know how it feels like in this deck, but it does help for catching up in the conquering, because it gives everything -3 to a minimum of 1, and then we can come in and conquer. Time Warp, to me, is in this build is maybe not something I want to look at, but it is always an option. Cost 10, and you recycle 4 to take a turn after this one, ban it, and then you banish the card. We talked about Leona to help us conquer. When Leona attacks, she stuns an enemy, so they can't deal us any damage, and she has shield, giving her +1 in when she defends. Darius Executioner is another thing that we were looking at. When he comes in, when we play him second, we can ready him, and he gives other friendly units a +1 at battlefields. That's another card that I was looking at. Divine Judgment feels like it puts me too far back. One other card. Ari. When I attack or defend, give an enemy unit here -2 this turn to a minimum of 1. So those are the cards that we're looking at right now. I haven't built a side deck for this yet. Again, if you guys, I would love suggestions for that as well. But like I said, Lux is a card. Lux is a card that I feel is like one of those things that are on the cusp of being really, really good. He has a really good ability. Playing spells that when you playing spells that when you cost 5 or more, you get to draw 1. She has a really cool ability. Card draw is always really good. Her chosen champion giving us an additional 2 resources to work with, and the upcoming gold gear mechanic, being able to make more treasure, being able to make treasure tokens. Essentially, I think Lux is a champion with a very high potential as we move forward with more sets. But I want to know what you guys think. Let me know. Do you like Lux? Do you think she has the potential that I see in her? Or do you think I am just being crazy? But as always, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, ding the notification bell if you want to be alerted to when we post any content, including the video that's going to pop up with us talking about some of the reveals for Spirit Forged. As always, friends, stay safe out there, and I will see you when I see you. Bye.